This is the Inside Toombs County Football with Toombs County Communications. I'm here with Toombs County High School head football coach Richie Marsh. Coach Marsh, thank you for coming on with us and speaking today about the upcoming football season. So you've already started practice. Everything's underway. Have our first scrimmage this Friday against Benedictine. So how is practice going?
I think we ended yesterday on a good note. It's been, well, you know how every summer is in Georgia. It's long, it's hot. But I think our guys have been really, they've been really clued in to what we want to accomplish this summer. We obviously want to be better than we were last year, and that's been a challenge for us since January, and I have been extremely proud of the effort that they've made in order to achieve that.
So looking at practice and everything that's going on with your team so far, who do you see that's going to make a big impact on this season?
Well, I'm really proud of a couple of seniors that we got that are just really being the example. They've been the example. They continue to be the example. They're humble. Their work ethic is exceptional, and those two that just stand out are Tank Morris and Will Watts. They have led the way the whole time. They've been a great example to, who we want to be as a football team, and so I'm extremely proud of the season that starting with them. I'm anxious to watch them play. I'm kind of excited to watch them play, along with others. But those two have been, if we say this is what we want, they've tried to be that example, and I'm proud they've stepped up and done that.
Looking forward to this Friday night with Benedictine. We always try to scrimmage tough opponents. Benedictine's a very tough opponent. So can you give us kind of an outlook on what you guys have been working on before this Friday and what you're looking for from your team in the scrimmage?
Yes, since I arrived 7 years ago, Benedictine's been the class of this area. They've been the most successful program. I could tell right off they're well coached. They do things really well, and when we played them in our region, it was always a very tough contest, and it caused us to prepare with an intensity, with a sense of urgency. We knew playing them that you had to be prepared, and so when we put them at the front of the schedule, not only do we have a sense of urgency about the preparation that we have during the summer, we know exactly where we are when we come out of that game. And bottom line is we want to win a state championship here one day, and hope for that day is this year. It wasn't last year, it wasn't the year before that, and playing them really lets us know what we got to do to work on trying to be that team, game 10, going into the playoffs. And so that's why we play Benedictine, and they've been that for us. And so we're, 2 years ago we were a foot on the gray line from getting a victory with this game. So and plus there's an excitement about playing a team like that. If you play a team that's lesser than that, I mean, to me, in the grand scheme of competition, it's not exciting preparing for those. That's kind of an anxious feeling. You're supposed to beat a team, and then you kind of put pressure on yourself. This is, hey, the sky's the limit. Let's go compete, and let's go have fun doing it, and start the season off like that, and get the mindset that we need going into the regular season.
That's right. So looking forward to the regular season, we changed region this year. We're going to have what I would consider an upgrade in competition going to our new region with additions like Appling County and Pierce County and everything. So could you give us an outlook on the rest of the season and how you guys are starting to prepare for those region matchups?
Yeah, well, the region's going to be tough, obviously, with the new region, like you just said. We lose Swainsboro, who's, they've been a classy team and very competitive and very athletic. Every year we've played them. We lose them and we gain Appling. Now, Appling had their best 2 years, these past 2 years, that they've had in the last 15. And so they're on the up. And we keep Idalia, our rivalry, we keep that game within the region. We lose Jeff Davis, who's had the best 2 years in their program. Other than those 2 years when Howard was there, that they've never had seasons like that back to back. and then we gained Pierce in that. And Pierce has been good for a long time. Both of those teams won the Final Four last year, so they are the class AA now. I mean, they are two of the top ranked teams in the state. And we always talk about, when I was at Thomasville, Region 1 AA, Region 1 AA. Well, this region, we're 3 now, but Region 3 AA, this is the toughest region in the state, and we're going to take pride in that.
I agree completely. And then looking forward to the next 3 weeks, us being at home, back in the pit, and everything. I mean, in my opinion, there's nothing like Booster Stadium, Jackie Jones Field at Booster Stadium this year on a Friday night. But what does that home field advantage and that crowd at Booster Stadium mean to your players and mean for your team?
Well, this town to me is like no other in the sense that the community support is unbelievable. I'm in awe of it every year when I turn around and look in that stadium. I'm grateful for it. We get to open up region play this year in the pit against Tatnall, and we've played them once in the past, but now they're a region foe, and they're supposed to have their best season that they've had in a long time, and so we're looking for one of our best seasons that we've had, and we need all the support that we've had in the past. They are a huge factor and advantage, I think, to our team playing at home, because I think our kids are grateful for that. They understand, they're appreciative that the community supports us the way we do. And then I think we got the best atmosphere of any small school stadium in the state.
I agree completely. And then on top of that, the start times for the games have been 7:30 for a really long time. They're going to be at 8 o'clock this year, so we're moving back 30 minutes. That should give enough time for the sun to drop down a little bit behind those trees and for everything to be a lot more comfortable in the early season games. What does it mean for your team with that decision, pulling everything back for 30 minutes, with everything possibly being a little cooler and being a little closer to the nighttime before we start the games this year?
Well, many factors with that. Number one factor, we talk about safety, and we talk about the heat factor. And 2 years ago with COVID, we moved back to Labor Day, and everybody just thought that was the best thing that we've done in a long time. But we didn't adopt it as far as the state. I wish we would. But we didn't, so we're playing early in August, and the season seems to keep getting backed up on us. And we play some kids both ways here, and so starting at 8, just like you said, there's a difference in the heat. In the wet bob, there's a difference in the humidity. There's a difference in the heat itself, and so that's going to be a big thing. I think it's going to help attendance. If you look up, a lot of people get there in the middle of the first quarter, so I think it's going to help attendance that they can, they don't have to rush so much from their job, and if they're, I don't know what they're doing about grabbing a bite to eat. Hopefully they'll get one of them Billy Burgers in the stadium. They do such an awesome job with that. That's obviously a popular thing here that everybody talks about, but so that's a huge factor in moving back to 8. And then the last factor in that is if you look in the state and notice the teams that play at 8. It's the traditional rich teams, and I want us to be one of those. I think we have a great tradition in the late 90s and early 2000s here when Coach Stroud was here, and we had a lot of great players, a lot of great teams, and it's been our goal since day one to bring that back and to start this tradition for another 10 to 15 years. And hopefully we're working to do that, and so we want to be one of those teams, just something different. And I think when you're different, sometimes people take mention of that.
I agree completely. And thank you so much for being with us today. We'll check in some more throughout the season as football season progresses. There's nothing like Jackie Jones Field at Booster Stadium on a Friday night. And so we're excited to be back this Friday with the scrimmage, excited to be back next Friday with the first regular season game. Everybody show up this Friday at 8 o'clock for the scrimmage. And until next time, this has been Inside Toombs County Football with Toombs County Communications. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to our Toombs County Schools YouTube channel for more updates.
Go Dogs!